Hello everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the introduction. And welcome to the packet of bits that can save or destabilize a city. The imaging that you are seeing shows a common scene in Mexico City after an earthquake early warning alert that people waiting outside of the building, some of them stepped out of the shower, the street wrapped in a towel. And well, this is routine for us here in Mexico City. We are going to look at the systems that help millions of people stay safe by sending alerts ahead of danger using wireless methods. It's fascinating to see how they work and their limitations. But well, beyond the technical exploration, this is also a personal story into this topic with the goal of inspiring others through what I consider the core of hacking, like the curiosity to deeply understand how system works, explore their boundaries, and share that knowledge. So here's what we are going to cover. First, I will give a quick overview of the Mexican Seismic Alert, what it is and how it works. Radio frequency plays a key role here. Then we will dig into the EAS-SAME system, an alert broadcast technology used in public alert systems across North America. After that, we will get hands-on. I will show you how to receive the code and even generate these alert messages. And finally, we'll wrap up with some thoughts on how the system performs. So just a quick disclaimer. I'm not going to read it, but this work is presented for academic purposes only, based on public available information. This is not intended to promote or facilitate any kind of lawful activity, and is conducted in accordance with applicable Mexican law. So a quick about me. I am in the computer and electronics since the 90s, being on the free and open source software community since the 2000s. I studied computer engineering at the National University in Mexico. I have been working more than 20 years in software engineering, and well, deeply involved in the hacking, radio frequency, software communities. So this is just to let you know that, well, I am not working with the government. I am not like an expert on seismic events or in this kind of systems. This is just like my work, like I do for fun and for passion. You can find me more about me at my website, rabade.net. I am lucky to find my last name on the internet. And well, you can find me as Manuel Rabade in several social networks. So this story begins in the 19th of September of 1985. I was 1 year old. I don't remember any much about it, but there was a very big earthquake in Mexico City. In that time, Mexico City was about 10 million people. Right now, we are 30 million people, but still we have 14,000 casualties in that time. It was a very big earthquake. So yeah, like everybody in Mexico City has a story about this earthquake. For example, for me, in that building, there were 3 buildings exactly than the one that stood standing. And there my grandfathers used to live. Like 2/3 of their building collapsed. So everybody has stories like that about the earthquakes. So yeah, like it's very important for us, like to know when an earthquake is hitting the city. So why Mexico City is so affected by earthquakes? So there are 2 reasons. The first reason is on the left side of the screen. You can see a painting of the 16th century of the Mexico City. It was a lake, and that lake was dried, and the city was built upon the lake. So this kind of terrain amplifies the seismic waves. And well, the second reason is on the right, that Mexico, the eastern part of Mexico, it's on 4 tectonic plates that have some play around there. So that's why Mexico City is so affected by earthquakes. We have these tectonic plates, and the city is built on what used to be a lake. But analyzing the 1985 earthquake, we have, because the earthquakes come from the coast, that's almost 400 kilometers away from the city. And the S wave, the seismic waves travel at 4.5 kilometers per second. They take to reach Mexico City 1.5 minutes. So, but the radio waves travel at 300 kilometers per second, so they travel at just 1 second. So if we do the time difference, we have this time to receive an early alert from the earthquakes that are happening in the coast. So, well, this information is like from I think the 18th century when they started studying this. So, well, after the 85, the Mexican government created an institution for seismic and instrumentation recording. And well, they use this knowledge I just told you, and they built a network of accelerators in Mexico City, and then they built another network on the coast. So, and they started to operating these networks when the coast accelerators send the signals about seismic waves to the city to make an alert if there is an earthquake coming. So this system started to be built after the 85 earthquake, and well, in 1991 it was the first time that an earthquake happened, and they recorded that the earthquake on the coast, and then it came to the city. So they tested the system. At the beginning, there were only 12 sensors on the coast, and a network of repeaters to the city. So this is how the Mexican Seismic Alert System is composed. Like, we have the sensor station I just told you that sends the signals to a network of concentrators and repeaters, and then to a central station that's in Mexico City. This central station is super important. They run some algorithms that take the information for the sensors and process it very fast. They have to do it very fast. You have seconds. And if the activity is strong enough, they send an alert. And they send an alert in different channels. One is with direct links with the government institutions in Mexico. And then we also have, and that's what we are going to talk about today, about a network of transmitters that use the EAS-SAME system. So we're going to look at this. There is also, 2 years ago, they integrated this system with the telephone operators in Mexico City, the mobile operators, to using cell-broadcast technology, but they are still testing it. This year we have a drill that it seemed that it worked, but until now it's working. So this system, although it's a little bit outdated, we will see, it's still like using thousands of receivers in Mexico City. Just a look at how the system is working contemporarily. So from 12 sensors, there are sensors in all of the eastern coast of Mexico and inside. And well, on the right side, it's a coverage of these transmitters that send these signals before an earthquake. So for me, the moment of realization became about in 2010, when I started seeing radios that, like the one on the left, that started popping up in several government agencies. So I see that radios that were labeled as alerta sísmica and as an earthquake alert. So yeah, that wake up my curiosity about this. And I see some logos about the NOAA and stuff like that. So, and then well, that was 15 years ago. I was also looking at a lot of electronic models on a smartphone and found this breakout that I think that, oh, maybe this has to work with this. So I bought some cards and built a receiver And well, in that time, what you do with a receiver, you connected to the internet with Twitter. So I connected, and well, there was the seismic alert on the internet also. So this generated a lot of attention in Mexico City, because this was like a closed system using the radios that we just saw that was only available for the people that could buy the radios. The radios are not cheap. So yeah, that was like very important. So I made a workshop like for people to build these radios. There was a couple of them at a makerspace in Mexico City that generated even more attention of even some entrepreneurs. And well, some entrepreneurs started to asking the government why they could not have more radios like this. Like there was only one vendor, so they started doing some noise on the media. And well, at the end, today we have another 2 vendors besides the original vendor of this radio. And well, I know that at least one of them is using code derived from the one I published. So yeah, I'm really proud. I didn't have anything to do with these entrepreneurs, but yeah, happy they take advantage of my published code. So from my side, I decided to build my graduation work upon this. So I made a receiver, following all the software engineering and hardware engineering techniques. So I built my receiver, very academic work. And well, during this work is this talk that was born, because I had to do the investigation of how this work at detail, and I find out what I'm going to talk about. But let's switch to the EAS-SAME system. What it is? EAS, in a nutshell, EAS is the system of transmitters that's in the US to send public alert signals. And the same protocol, it's the protocol to send digital information, right? So the network of transmitters just transmit audio, and the same protocol, it's audio, it's digital information over that audio channel. So, well, SAME is short for specific area message encoding. That was the original purpose of this protocol. It's to attach to the alerts an area code, because, well, these alerts, since are broadcasted in radio, it can be received by maybe someone that's not it's not an affected zone of the alert. So this system is originated in the 60s in Chicago, in the US. They were using it to broadcast marine weather conditions. And well, this system has evolved since the 60s. I'm not going to go through the evolution of the EAS-SAME system, but I just want to tell you that, well, things move slowly with this kind of system. So in the 60s, the system was launched. In the 70s, they started to working on digital information. In the 80s, it was published. In the 90s, it was adopted in the US. And in 2008, it was adopted by Mexico to transmit this kind of alerts. So in the US, it covers like 90% of the country. If you remember the map of Mexico I show you, it only covered like the center, but no, in the US it covers all the US, and they use it for tornadoes, for floodings, for a lot of things. But fortunately, they don't have events like the earthquakes we have in Mexico City. But yeah, they use it for a lot. And they have, in Mexico, there are like 15 transmitters. They have over 700 transmitters. So this is where the UC part starts. So NOAA Weather Radio are transmitters that are between 5 and 1,000 watts of power. In Mexico City, the transmitters are like 100 watts. they have up to 54 kilometers of range on flat terrain, and they use wide FM modulation with 16 kilohertz of bandwidth. So yeah, it's wide FM, but well, for the modern times, it's quite narrow. So there are 10 channels, like 7 standard channels. If you see the first frequency, it's the same as the 60s, and they were just adding frequencies in this weather band that it's about 162 megahertz. It's above FM radio. So yeah, if you tune to these channels, you will hear. We will hear later what's been transmitted all the time. But when they send this burst of information in these channels, they use the same protocol encoding, that is just FASK modulation, you know, like the old-time modems of internet, with a bit period of 1.92 milliseconds. So that's less than 600 bytes per second. There is a preamble. There is the characters are encoding in 7 bits ASCII, just the lower part of the ASCII table, and the less significant bit is transmitted first. So that's how the protocol is encoding in the air. And on the right, you can see the parts that define a same message. First, there is the header. The header has these messages sent 3 times. You have to send 3 times everything because you know, this comes from the 60s. So this is backwards compatible with all the receivers. So you send each frame 3 times, and the receiver must make a choose of 2 or 3 for each byte to construct a message. So there is first the header. That's 3 frames. Then there is an optional alert tone. That's also for backwards compatibility for the radios from the 70s. And there is then a voice message that's optional. And there is then an end of message. Okay. So there is a link to the specification of the same protocol. And well, the header, that's the details of the header. There is a character for the start of the header. Then there is a code for the originator of the messages. Then there is a code for the event type. Then there is a code for the geographic area code that can be several in a message. And there is an expiration time, an issue date and time, and the ID of the transmitter. So that's what they are sending through the waves to alert. So, for example, the event type, the EQWW, it's an earthquake warning. The RWT, it's a regular weekly test. TOR, it's a tornado. There are like 100 codes that you can check on the spec. But well, in Mexico, the implementation, there are like 2 laws, two main laws. The first, the NOM, the NOM, as we say in Spanish. It's the official Mexican standard for safety conditions that says that you have to have a receiver on offices and public places, and there is a technical standard on this kind of systems. They revert a little bit from the US standard. There is a regular weekly test that's not weekly. It's like each 3 hours they send a little packet. So the radios can show that they are working and receiving the signal, and the earthquake warning it's sent 3 times. 3 times the message we just saw, it's sent 3 times, and the receiver must play the tone that should be recorded. They don't use a voice message. They change it. They used to comply with the US standard, but then they change it. They change it. I don't really know why, but they changed it. I think it was to make the official statement is that is to privilege the earthquake warning, but that's also to have radios only for the Mexican market. So let's see how to receive the code and encode these alert messages. So to receive them, you can have a commercial radio. There are ICs that are specifically to receive and decode the signals, but you can also use an SDR dongle like the RTL SDR, like the most simple one of them, can easily receive the signals. And well, also you need also an antenna, but a quarter wave monopole of about 45 centimeters. It's enough. So here is the view on SDR++ of synchronizing one of these channels. You can see that the bandwidth of the RTL SDR is enough to see all the channels that are transmitting. From my location in Mexico City, I can see six transmitters that are very far away from Mexico City. Like, well, this system it's designed, it's using these frequencies, VHF, to have a good coverage of the city. So, and when you synchronize one of these channels, for example, we are synchronizing the channel 1, you hear something like this.
Este domingo se espera ambiente cálido, dominará cielo nublado y presencia de lluvias fuertes, con posible actividad eléctrica. No se descarta caída de granizo. La temperatura máxima podría alcanzar los 23 grados centígrados cerca de las 3 de la tarde. Los vientos serán de dirección variable de 10 a 30 kilómetros por hora.
That's the weather forecast. When I started receiving these channels, to synchronize these channels, they're used to play classical music. Yeah, I think because of the free royalties. But then the government started to play these weather alerts. So, and when they transmit these packets, when these packets are transmitted, or this digital burst of information, that's what you see on the waterfall of the SDR++. You see like the header. There is 1, 2, and 3 headers, and then you can see the 3 end of messages. And how do you hear it? This is what you hear.
De acuerdo. De riesgo.
That's the digital information, the AES key of these packets. So I built my own decoder in Python to decode the signals, just to, for fun. You can see it on my GitHub page. It's implemented in Python. It processes recordings in a waveform file. Use a passband filter and the Goetz algorithm to detect the tones. It's synchronized using the preamble detection. It applies a sliding windows and detects the attention signal. So when you record that signal and you process it using the script, you get the information I just showed you. So yeah, that was like a realization, like, okay, so if I can decode it without anything else, well, you can also generate it, right? So part of my investigation was that there were other softwares that were also decoding the EAS system, like Multimon. That's a software from the 90s. I don't know how many times the EAS system was being decoded, but I suppose a lot of time they are also decoding it. Well, before implementing some kind of encoding, I found there was a module in Python. I am really into Python. It really is. It's a very cool language, and it has a very cool community also. So yeah, there is a module to do that, when you can generate a WAV file and create your own messages. And then, well, obviously, I'm not going to transmit this because it's against the law. But yeah, you can generate the WAV files and you can validate them, and they look like the original ones. So yeah, this is like a system super simple. We're going to see it in these final thoughts. Well, first of all, in Mexico, it's prohibited to transmit, interfere, or to spoof signals in these frequency bands. There are protected spectrum for early warning systems. Then, well, I want to highlight the positive part of this of CIRES, that the Mexican government institution that is running these systems. I think it's pretty cool to have this kind of technology at the service of the people, like using open standards, and well, also I want to highlight NOAA from the US for making these protocols, thinking about this. They make some cool products besides this, like satellite imagery that's public and open. So yeah, I want to highlight that. I want to highlight the advantages of this system, like its simplicity, its minimalist design, its allow for easy implementation, its interoperability as an open standard, integrates well with different technologies. Its efficiency, messages are compact and encoded to deliver precise and actionable information. Its resilience in analog environments, so this works even when digital infrastructure fails. And well, standardization with a mark that, well, a shared system simplifies everything, hardware, design, and all. But where there are some improvement areas, some limitations, like the lack of origin verification. There is no built-in way to verify who is sending these messages. Any transmitter can broadcast a valid signal that can trigger hundreds or thousands of receivers. There could be also message tampering because of the same messages are not signed. There could be also interference or jamming, as with any wireless technology. It depends on specialized hardware. While the protocol is simple, it requires a specific receiver. And well, there are languages limitations, like messages cannot be encoded and there is only one voice channel. So what's up beyond these kind of systems? There are two systems, like the Common Alerting Protocol. That's an XML-based standard used to distribute messages that supports signatures. And there is also cell broadcast. That's the mobile technology that we are more used to having in our cell phones, like having these public alerts pop up over there. That has also its limitations, like you have seen in some publications and in some talks. So I want to close with, well, from my point of view as software engineer and, well, computer engineer in general, it's, at the end, it's a balance. How we balance accessibility, interoperability, and security. It's always a challenge to be compatible with other devices, maximizing the coverage of these systems, the interoperability. It's always a balance that we as technologists, we need to take in account all the perspectives on this. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Manuel. That was really interesting. So we have a bit of time, 5 minutes, for if you have any questions at our speaker, then head to the microphones. We have 6 of them in this hall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I will talk. We have actually 10 minutes, I see. Wow. So we can do intensive questioning. I give you some time. We already have someone at microphone 1, I see. Please, microphone 1.
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, congrats for the result, bro. And I was very curious about the 6 or 7 signals, I mean the frequency. So the question is if the signal, the alert signal, are sending using all of these 7 frequencies for avoid jamming, or maybe the entire frame is divided, and after that is sent through these different frequencies.
Oh, well, thank you very much, first of all. And well, no, all the transmitters duplicate the information. Yeah, so all the information it's sent, it's duplicated in every transmitter, and it's built in that way. So if you don't pick up one, you pick up another one. So yeah, it's replicated.
About jamming, okay. Thank you.
Are there any more questions? You can all head up to the microphones if you're interested. Do you have any question from the internet, maybe? Then that would be the moment. No, okay.
No questions?
Then maybe I can ask you a question. From my understanding, this whole system could be maybe spoofed with anyone with a hacker RF or any antenna. Has there ever been a case of this in Mexico?
No, there are no documented cases, but if somebody spoof it, I'm sure they will not tell, because, well, this is the government takes it very seriously, this kind of things, like in general, like transmitting in outside the designated frequencies, like, for example, for radio amateurs and for everything. They will not take it very lightly.
It is soothing to hear. Are there any more hands at the microphone? Okay, then I've got one last question for you. What actually could the consequences of the... I see someone else. Okay, then maybe your question first. Yeah. Microphone 1, please.
If I understand correctly, does this mean that the same vulnerability have also in the United States?
Sorry, I didn't understand you.
You described some kind of vulnerability in Mexico, and if I understood correctly, the system is from USA. And does this mean your findings that they should maybe have the similar vulnerability there?
Yeah. Like, in US, they use the same system in Canada and in Mexico.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thanks for the question.
They have the same limitations.
We have another question at microphone 3, please.
So first of all, thank you very much for your talk. And one question that I have is whether in Mexico there's, for example, a service or something that forwards the alerts from a radio, for example, to a mobile app or something, so that everyone can receive it on their mobile phone.
Yeah, well, first, the technical specification for Mexico City designates that the system should respond. A certified receiver should respond in, I think, like less than 3 seconds, something like that, less than 5 seconds. So the mobile apps and the bridges could not comply with this regulation because you cannot guarantee that. So yeah, that's why I built with the Twitter bot, but it could not be an official channel. But there are people that have, well, I have experimented with it. It can be done, but it will not be official.
Thank you.
All right, I don't see anyone at a microphone. Is there any changes at the internet? I don't think so.
No.
All right. So maybe one question from me again. So my question would be, what could happen if one were to send a message through the system? So does it just alert things, or is there actually some happening in bureaucracy, or what is connected to the system?
Like the radios. You mean, like, no, well, the radios must have an speaker. So the speaker, when they receive this message, the speaker should transmit if there is a voice message. Or, well, for Mexico, if this is an earthquake warning, they should apply the official alert that it's a very, very specific zone that everybody in Mexico City knows, like, wah, 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 wah. Yeah, like if you are in Mexico City and you hear like wah, 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 do whatever everybody else do. Like it could be stay on the place or maybe exit the building depending on the size of the building.
So we have another question at microphone 2, please.
Yes, I will build on your question, and that is, as I understand, you have earthquake or a specific code for that, and there are more codes like tornadoes, alien invasions, or whatever is in the spec. What would happen if one potentially would play a tornado warning? Would that also trigger the warning system?
Yeah, like it will be shown on the radios on the screen, like this screen that they have. For example, this radio says tornado, and if there is a sound that's also play on the volume on the audio channel, it will play. So that's how it works. Like for the earthquake warning, it's a special one in Mexico, just in Mexico. But for the US and Canada, it's the message on the radios and an optional voice message.
Thank you.
All right, we have 3 minutes left. So maybe I can ask you one last question, or any from the audience. Oh, we have 1 and 2. Please, your question first.
Yeah, thank you. Does it mean that a normal drone with a small transmitter is enough to trigger the system for the whole city? Because the repeaters are repeating that small message?
So, sorry, can you repeat the question?
So when there are repeaters and they are repeating the original message, is it enough to have a small drone that sends the message in a low power way to trigger the signal in the whole city?
Sorry, I am not understanding.
Okay.
You can clarify?
So I think what he means is that is like one message enough to alert the whole city, or do I need to send multiple signals?
No, yeah, the system is centralized. There is one central transmitter that we don't know where it is, but that coordinates all the transmitters in the city, and well, with 5 transmitters, you cover all Mexico City. So there is a delay, in fact, between if you see, there are not like super synchronized the transmitter. There is a delay of maybe milliseconds between them. So yeah, but with 5 at the same time, there is not a mesh, like a mesh of repeaters. There is just one centralized system. There are not so many details about it.
So that answers the question. I think we are almost out of time. We have some minutes left. Then maybe my question at the end, that would be the sound the systems make. Is it hard-coded into the systems, or can I change it? Can I inject my own sound, my own message that gets broadcast?
No, yeah, like the only system that's hard-coded, and it's for Mexico, it's the earthquake alert warning. Like for US and Canada, and like the standard system, the radios play whatever it's on the audio channel.
So I just heard we have got a question from the internet, so that could be our last one. Please, the internet.
Yeah, there's a question. Is there a system to retransmit the system over public radio stations to spread the warning?
Yes. In fact, the system started like in this. Let me go back really quick. Yeah, like the direct links. The system began with direct links to the television network, to the radio station, and then there was this network of transmitters that we talked about, and now at least that I know, the 3D generation is the self-broadcast integration of this system.
All right. So we're out of time for any more questions. Please, everyone, have a warm applause for Manuel.